Hello, how's everybody doing? Here we go again. So I guess we are really getting into the routine because this is the second one, and like I said, this is okay. Let me state what this is first. This is the seventh year of um, American yoga. Okay, and like I said, I mean, okay, not like I said. But let's go. I wanted to mention some other things that we have that actually in the program where I'm at, because those of you who follow the videos now, I'm almost sure with the long break, it's been, and maybe it's no, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go there either. I just want to get this introduction together. Um, so now this is actually, because thinking back, this is precision. We're in precision, okay? And after precision, which I don't know how long precision is going to be, but you know how important precision is. Just think of it, precision. And we're talking about things as far as American yoga is concerned, everything that we covered. So you know precision is really, really complex. So I finished that part of the introduction. Now, I went over everything that I said I was going to go over. I went over everything as far as the video is concerned and everything that I want to do in this video. So, what would be a good starting point? Like I said, this is year 7, um, American Yoga. We're in precision. Those of you who follow the video, who've been following along. Now, what I really wanted to say, like back then, before I cleared this up, was that it seems to me like it was 4 to 7 persons who actually are aware of all the videos as far as American yoga is concerned. Now it seems like it dropped, which I had told everyone in this program as far as American yoga is concerned, how complex it is and how much you have to be patient with yourself and how long it takes. And it seems like some people dropped off. I'm not sure, but it seems like it's even less, maybe like 2 now, which is very understandable, because this really is a lot to take in and a lot to do, and you really have to understand yourself a lot. So now we have to keep going. And I'm trying to think if, and like I said, like I was just thinking, like right now, well, how should I go about this lesson? Being that I think some people dropped off, which is totally all right. A lot of people will come and do this and do that when it gets really popular. Like they want to see what actually can be done in American yoga, and when they actually see it, but then that'll be so much time. It would be like maybe another year or 2. But that's the way things go, okay? Because there's a lot of things that have to take into consideration whenever you bring something new into society or into the world. You don't know how it's going to be received in the beginning, okay? The only thing that I feel bad about is that there will not be as many people to master it as I thought. But you never can tell. So I'm just telling you my thoughts on the matter. But no matter what, this has to go on because I know it's great. Now, as far as how can I say? There was another point that I wanted to bring out in the introduction. Um, like I said, it's precision. I already said that. I don't think as many people will know it and master it, okay? But there will come like a time when a lot of people are interested, and then once that happens, there'll be a lot of holes and a lot of things, which is not bad. It's just that you won't have. I can see that. Excuse me. There will not be as many masters of it as I thought, which I always wanted to be more. It would just be more fun. But such is life, okay? So now, what are we going to cover today? And I used to, like I said, I used to explain everything that we did and all this, but now it's the 7th year, and the only thing I can say is that we have to go on with this American yoga. If anybody's really interested in really understanding what's going on, you have to like start in the beginning. That's as much as I can say now at this point in time. Okay, so what have remember last? Remember, we're in precision, and precision has been a long time. I never knew it would take this long, but precision takes a long time, and it's a lot because we have precision. Then after precision is power and then perfection. Okay, I think it's power and then perfection. Does perfection have to be last? I'm not really sure. And that's one thing that I stated before is that you have to know all the material, cover all the material, because it's not like you can figure out what is going to come next. You cannot figure it out. That's why I'm here, because I go through the whole cycle. I have to figure out exactly what's in the next, what's exactly comes up next, because there's a lot of mistakes. How can I say mistakes or wrong direction, or how can I say a lot of wasting time? Because like I said, I have to sometimes I have to figure things out, and it takes a long time. This is not right. 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 That's exactly how it works. And then I find that this is right because all of those other things are wrong. Now, all those things that I said is not right, you don't have to worry about those, but I had to worry about them. Okay, so that's something about how it goes. Now we're going to get back into everything is important. All of the tapes I did was important, and like I said, a number one reason why you can't really write things down, and the number one reason why I don't write things down is because you can feel it in the way I explain things. Okay, and I might give a hint about something that I would never hint about because something popped in my head, and I give you a hint about that or a hint about that, which will only excel you better. Okay, and like for instance, I stated this one time, which is happening to me a lot. I stated that sometimes you get into a system in this American yoga, and you see how the path is going to be, what you're going to obtain next, okay? And what happens is you see it and it's shown to you. It happens like this in life too, but then you're cut off from it, okay? But it's like you were lucky and you saw what you were going towards. It's always like that. And then you have to say, well, but I don't have that. That's something to look forward to. Let me keep going because I can see that that's what's going to happen. It's like, I hate to say, I'm not into gambling or anything, but it's like, or gambling or playing cards or something like that, okay? And it's your first time. And your first time, you actually do it perfectly, okay? But then after that, you can't do it anymore. Well, it's sort of like that, okay? Sometimes you'll get those things in American yoga, but it's very good because it shows you that yes, you can make it at this system, just like playing cards, okay? Your first time you play the cards, and you all of a sudden like win, and everybody's baffled. Well, you have it there, but you have to find out how to get that back because it's just showing you your mind is showing you that you can do it, okay? And but you have to figure out how you did that if you can understand what I'm talking about. People, it happens to people all the time. I mean, like somebody's doing something and they spent their whole life, and then all of a sudden somebody picks up something and they go, and they make it perfect at it, but they can't like constantly do it. But it's like I think they call it winner's luck or something like that. Okay, but it's good because evidently you're not thinking about it or everything or having some kind of capacity. You actually do it perfect the first time. But then there's a lot of things that go into play. But that's just like showing you, yes, you can advance at this. Okay, if you understand. All those things I'm telling you right now is very important. Like for instance, I'm at a point now to where we talked about catapult. I can see a catapult, okay, and I've been doing this for a long time. But it's like when I first started this, okay, I'm not gonna state, I have all my information in the other tapes. And I see it all the time, and I say catapult. I mean, I can just see it, okay? And it doesn't like constantly, but it's coming like, how can I say, maybe like 3 times in a day or something like that, or 1 time in a day. But I know exactly where I'm headed, and I know I can. I'm the one that's saying catapult. That's a catapult. I can catapult on this, and that's just one of the aspects. And I talked about this, and the people are not going to understand me if you just join. And I'm happy that you joined, but like I said, it has to be starting at the beginning. There's a lot of times I was trying to explain in the other years that we've been doing this, and I kind of helped you to get more interested in it, but now it's at the 7th year. We're so far gone. We're so far ahead that I have to just keep going now. But if you're really interested, you have to start from the beginning, and it takes a long time. I never tell anybody that it's like happens overnight, okay? And so anyway, so then I see that. I see that, and this is just one section that I'm talking about. I see a catapult, and I'm just explaining to you to that. There's things everywhere, advantages, and it's just a very very beautiful thing, and it's something that you have to work hard at. And the thing about it is, it's unlike regular unlike other yoga. This one is you get your satisfaction. What I'm trying to say is you see what's happening, okay? It's a total opposite because this is American yoga. And it's like you see where you're going. You see the benefits. And sometimes you see the benefits, but nobody else is going to see them because it's so small. But you know, that's the beauty of it, is that you know, and you get a lot of new things. Oh, that's new. Oh, that's new. You'll see. Okay. So now, what are we gonna do? Last time we did the polynomial. Okay. I explained to you about the terms and how they go. Now we did the polynomial. It's our first polynomials. There'll be other polynomials, but that is really really difficult to come up with. This other one, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a monomial, a binomial, and trinomial, okay? And these are the terms I take most of my terms, I take them from algebra because it's algebra-y. I guess if I can make that word, it's algebra-y. It is very mathematical, okay? It's almost as if I couldn't explain this before, I'm sorry. It's almost as if you become a character. I mean, it's no fantasy. I'm not talking about fantasy. Is you're making yourself a character. You're making yourself a character that can do certain this, and this. I'm not talking about a fictitious character. You're becoming like a character, okay? And I haven't heard that one before, but it's not like imaginary. It's like you become. You ever? I mean, like for instance, I have acting to where I'm acting out characters, okay? However, in American yoga, you become you because you're learning so much about yourself. You see your character. That's exactly what I'm saying. You become your character, the character you are. Okay, which is nothing to do with acting. Okay, it's just like you when you when you study when you're an actor and you want to do a part in a movie, you have to learn about the character. But this is different because you're learning about your character and the things that this character can do and the things this character has to do. Okay, so now we finished that. So now we're going to go into the next one. What is it going to entail? We have the function. It's going to entail function. And when I say all these terms, it has to do with American yoga. Everything American yoga of all the videos that I have already done. So we have the function. Now we're inside the function, okay? Okay? Then we're going to talk about monomial, like I said, binomial, and trinomial. Okay? So, let's see, and also limit. Now let's start with the limit, okay? This position, we can do so many things, but however, in this position, which is called the between quadrant, okay? It's a limit, okay? You need limits. Without limits, the sky's, how can I say? There's so many things, there's too many things, okay? You need limits. So now we have a limit. That's another term, a new term. This between quadrant is a limit, okay? Okay? And so I was thinking sometimes I should say, it almost appears as if something can be a noun and a verb, okay? So I'm not going to say how it fits in, but we're going to call this a limit, okay? Which can be termed as a noun, but I'm just telling you that so that you can kind of, so that you can make your concepts better, okay? So now I'm going to go into the right quadrant. The right quadrant or the natural quadrant, and that quadrant is a limit, okay? Now if I go into the other quadrant, this is a limit also, okay? So you can pretty much get a concept of what a limit is, okay? So I can go from this limit to this limit to this limit, okay? So now we're going to be in this limit. In this limit, and when I say limit, okay, you pretty much understand what I'm talking about. I'm sure I don't have to explain that. You can do a monomial, okay? I'm going to make a monomial, okay? I wanted to say, as a writing, there was a time when we talked about writing, okay? And if I go like this in the function wrote it. You cannot do this without seeing it in the function, okay? So we pretty much know that we're in the function. And we talked about the writing, okay? It means it appears to you. If I go like this, okay, it appears to me. Now I'm going to do a monomial. Monomial is we need to control. There's only one specific time when you're in control of the control, okay? And that is when you go like this. I remember I had a friend, and a lot of people used. I mean, I always thought that my mind was just only me thought of what me thinks. Only I thought of these things that I've always used in life. But I had this friend. He was a tennis player, and we were talking this after work. He was actually a waiter also, but he taught tennis. And he goes, "What about this?" And I knew what he was talking about, okay? And I couldn't explain it because I hadn't went there yet, okay? But now I understand, okay? This is the control, okay? And it seems I'm going to show you, and I explained about the control, and I explained about this before, but we're going to use it in the in the monomial, okay? Monomial means one, binomial two, and trinomial three, okay? And I can actually say expressions, okay? Because we did a polynomial, which was a combination of a lot of expressions. So anyway, he said this, and now I can see, now when I see it, there's no question, I know what it is, okay? That's the only occurrence that I can say that you can control, that you can see the control or you can control the control, but that's the only one, and it really can't do anything with it. Although the control is very powerful, and it's not shown to you, or you can't really use it because it is very powerful, and it has to be taught, I can say. It has to be explained. It has to be broken down. But in this, it's nothing. And like I said, I can use it like that, the control. Everybody can do that, okay, hopefully. But then I can take it here and then go over here. I can see it move. I can sense it move from here to here, but that takes a long time, okay? So, the reason why I say that, because that controls the monomial. Another one control, like I told you, some artists that really had the control, and I say Janet Jackson because she astounded me at a lot of things. She doesn't even know what she did. She doesn't even know the potential of what she did, okay? But it's funny in that out of all the artists, she's the only one that has affected things, the world, a lot of people, and just in certain things that she did. But like I said, she's not aware of it. She was not aware of it. I remember, and I'm talking about the control, because I remember, and the funny thing about it is that she did the song Control, okay? And maybe that's what she's really singing about, but she doesn't know it. Because it's like I said, life is very complex. So, and I said, like I said, you can be very good at something, but when you try and break it down, forget it. I remember watching her in not What Have You Done For Me Lately, but what was that video? I was very observant at all the videos. Let me see, what was that video? Oh, Nasty Boys, okay. She comes in the video, okay, and it's serious to me. And she comes in and to this movie theater. She's with Paula Abdul. She comes in the movie theater. I want to say something about, before I do this, I want to clear up something about Janet Jackson and Paula Abdul. A lot of people think that Paula Abdul was a better dancer. Janet Jackson got her choreography from her, but Paula Abdul did it more technical. Janet could master things. I mean, when I say master, I mean she's in control. I mean, she uses the control what we're talking about in her dances and everything is pretty much gone now. But she had that ability, maybe because she got it from Michael. I don't know why she didn't like thinking, or I don't know why she didn't take advantage of the fact that, yeah, help me. She didn't want her brother to help me. I didn't understand that part of her career. So anyway, so she's in this in the nasty video. She's coming in, and she does this thing. Okay, I mean, like, she used, it wasn't really, I mean, it may appear sexual to a lot of people, but it wasn't sexual. I mean, it was the control. And she did something, you'll see it, and it just blew my mind. It was just, how did she do that? What is that? It was before I even understood about what the control was, even though I was studying it, okay? You can study the control and not even know it's the control. But she goes in and she goes like, like this, okay? But she was in total control of that control, not knowing at that point how to figure it out, because she was doing it naturally. And I looked at that part, and I looked at that part, and I looked at that part over and over again, and she would go like that, okay? And that was it, okay? And I couldn't explain it, but I knew that I had to keep studying. Then in another time, like I stated in one of my videos, is when she was in what did she do? Okay, she was in Miss You Much. And she says, okay, you really want to know. You really want to know. And she goes, this, and then she goes like this, okay? And like, I can do it now, but you know, like, I saw that, and I go, like, what is that? What is that? I did it one time at work, and I was behind the bar, because I was a bar back, and this girl, she was a bartender, and this music came on. It just totally, I went into the control, and I walked, you know, like, toward her, and she goes, how did you do that? You know what I mean? And it happens all the time. People always say that is really great, that is really great. Okay, so anyway, that's the control, but can go anywhere, okay? It could be very dangerous too. Maybe that's why we don't know about it. But anyway, so the reason why I say that, because that is going to use the monomial, okay? That is going to use the monomial. And remember, my terms are for American yoga, okay? It's for American yoga, so don't try and like put it, it's algebraically, which is a word I made up, because it has a lot of algebra in it, because I really love algebra, okay? And that's probably why I use a lot of terms with algebra. So anyway, we have this control. So with monomial, with that, we can use the control, the monomial. We're going to use this for the monomial, okay? Okay? That's the monomial. And we got the monomial, okay? So that's a monomial also, okay? If you gotta figure, you can pretty much see what I'm talking about. So then we have the binomial. So now we have the binomial, and it can go like this. Okay, so that's the binomial. Now, a trinomial would be something like that, okay? So we have the trinomial. And that's the lesson for today. Now I'm going to put the binomial, and trinomial together. And that's going to pretty much end it for today. Yeah, for this lesson. And here we go.